Jonah Hill. Are you guys all familiar with the famous actor Jonah Hill? He was dating a woman two and a half years ago. They broke up. I think he's now having a kid with his new, I don't know if it's they're married or new girlfriend. So I don't know if it was spurred on by the fact that he's announced that he's having a child, or I don't know if the girlfriend gave birth. In any case, ex-girlfriend comes out of the woodwork saying Jonah Hill was emotionally abusive and controlling and manipulative and narcissistic and misogynistic and every buzzword that you can throw at somebody. And there's a bunch of articles on this. So if you can pull that up, Nick. So this is on TMZ. Ex-girlfriend posts his, can you mouse wheel control scroll up a little? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Scroll down. Blasts him as misogynist. Scroll down just a tad so we can read this. Oh, nope. Up. Nope, now you're covering it. Scroll down.
Oh, gotcha.
Nope, scroll down. Yep, yeah, okay. Jonah Hill's alleged dirty laundry is getting aired out by an ex who's posting what she claims are a ton of old texts from him and painting him as a toxic partner. Surf instructor Sarah Brady, JH's former flame of about a year from back in 2021, is dragging the new actor on her Instagram account, and she's not holding anything back in her repudiation of him as an alleged misogynist narcissist, as she puts it herself. And scroll down just a bit so we can see. That's good right there. So the primary one that we're going to react to is that one on the right. Can you alt-tab over one? I just want to see what we have pulled up here. Or is it Control-Tab? I forgot. So this is Jonah Hill. I don't know if you're curious, 39 years old. Scroll down just a bit. And every single journal or whatever, they're all writing about him. Glamour, scroll down just a tad. So we got Vanity Fair, Glamour, Huffington Post, People Magazine, Washington Post, scroll down. Entertainment Weekly, just keep scrolling. Okay, I think that's fine. Go to the next one really quick. Yeah, go to the next tab. Scroll down. So Huffington Post, yeah, just like pretty much every Vulture, Daily Mail, Independent, they're all talking about this story of Jonah Hill, misogynist, narcissist, abuser. So we're going to actually investigate the text messages, and we're going to get your guys' reaction to this. Can you go to the next tab? So these are screenshots direct from her. So this is just one of the posts she made, and she says, reviving a pic I took down by request of a misogynist narcissist. So I guess this is one of the photos that he requested she takes down. I think this one's fairly tame, but there were definitely some other photos. Go to the next. Okay, so this is a text from Jonah Hill. She took a screenshot of it and posted on her story. She says, fuck it, plain and simple. If you need, this is from Jonah. If you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures, I guess this is a list, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past, beyond getting lunch or a coffee or something. Wait, sorry, what happened there? Why were we not visible in the window tab? Or were we previously in the window tab?
We were in the window tab. Yeah, we were in the window tab. Just made it bigger.
Put it back into the window tab though, please. And you can make it bigger. There's the other GH5 center down there. The eyeball. Yeah, cool, thank you. So friendships with women who are in unstable places from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful. I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. So there's a bunch of other screenshots, but we're going to just start focusing on this one to start. So I guess there's a couple questions here, and I'll open it up to you guys. Do you consider this to be abusive? Do you consider it to be, is this manipulative, controlling, or do you think it's reasonable? And then also, do you think it should have been shared publicly? So let's start with you, Burke. Why don't you go ahead?
Okay, so first I'd like to say that I think that it's honestly pretty respectful of him to state what he wants to find in a romantic partner, and if she is not doing those things, like there are so many people in this world that he can find that would respect that. And I think that it's very like, I love how he said like the boundaries and stuff instead of going off on her or anything like that. Like I think that that's like, I think that's great. Yeah, I think that that's a very mature and adult thing to do. Communicate your boundaries. Yeah.
Well, definitely I don't think that should have been like shared publicly. Like personal like tips or like whatever, that should be kept to yourself. And if you get bothered that people like comment on it, like it was your choice to put it out there. But aside from that, like, yeah, I do agree. Like at least he said what he wanted, and like it wasn't necessarily in like a mean way either.
Yeah, we can pull it back up really quick. Go to the window tab. So, I mean, he says, I'm not the right partner for you. If those things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnerships. So he's saying, like, look, if you want to break up, basically, that's totally fine, respect it. Just this is what I want in a romantic relationship.
I mean, yeah, I feel like he definitely did the best he could in that situation. Like, regardless of like whatever else we don't know about, like, because that could play like a part in her reaction, but it's still not like okay to like put people on blast like that. Even if you're like separated or something's happened between you guys, it's not other people's business to comment on or know about. But especially like if no one's forcing you.
Why do you think she did it?
Why do you think she? I mean, you know, some people emotion over logic when like that's.
Do you think maybe it has something to do with the
decision.
fact that he just had a child and he's happy?
It could be. It could have sparked up like some old, you know, like whatever issues she had with him while she was with him. It could have sparked it up and made her think about it again. And like, but it's still not okay.
Yeah.
He said it pretty respectfully.
Yeah, and also let's just, it's okay if you know, I suspect that most of us at this table are going to say probably shouldn't have shared it publicly, but you might actually think, well, maybe he was being a bit controlling, or maybe he was, you know, maybe he shouldn't try to restrict what his girlfriend is posting online, or, you know, who she's associating with and hanging out with. So, so I don't want you to necessarily, like, just because she perhaps overstepped by sharing it publicly, that she might not also be in some ways. I don't think she would necessarily be wrong for saying, well, hey, I do want to post this stuff, and then the relationship should end there. But perhaps a better way to frame this question, and we will continue going around the table, is would you object to a boyfriend or potential boyfriend wanting to restrict you from posting risque photos online, from associating with like your single female friends who are out partying and doing, and we don't know all the details, but I mean, it sounded like she was associating with some scoundrels, let's just say. So
I mean, honestly, you can't, that part is a little bit out of pocket, I'm gonna say, like, especially if like you met me a certain way and you wanted to be in a relationship with me, knowing that's who I am, these are my friends, this is what I do, after you try to tell me like don't post or don't, but when you first were like meeting me, that's what you saw and that's what you came and got in a relationship with me for. Like, you can't kind of, that part's a little too much. So, but you know, you have the option, like he doesn't agree with that, that's fine. There's plenty of other people that agree with it, but like, that's mine.
I don't see it as like manipulative or like anything like abusive like that. I could see how people could see it like that because some people don't like being told what to do, especially when it comes to social media, because social media is a big piece of life, I guess, now. But I mean, as an OnlyFans creator, yeah, it would be kind of hard for someone in a relationship with me to tell me to not post scandalous things online because that's kind of my job. But you know, there's just some things like hanging out with men with no boundaries is weird. You shouldn't do that when you're in a full committed relationship. And I'm not sure what else he like put up as like the rules. The Jonah.
We can pull it back up really quick just to give everyone a little reminder.
The-
So she didn't want him to be surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men,
That's
to
valid.
model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places and from your wild recent past, beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful.
I agree with that.
Well, you're making a little bit of a...
Because I'm like, what is like something respectable? Like, can I only get coffee with my friend, and like what fucking excuse me, like exchange little like notes about my recent like escapades, and that's it? Like that? All right, bye. Like that's it. Brunch.
He probably
What if-
doesn't. He probably doesn't want his girl like going to the club or the bar with her single female friends.
Single
What if I,
girls are
like,
recruiters.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of people in LA that are like involved with a lot of like scandalous, dirty stuff, doing drugs, and just out till like 5 a.m. every night.
Oh, hold on, just a sec.
Devon Malik donated $100. God forbid a man emotionally manipulate a woman into being a good candidate to be the mother of his kids.
Word, yo, Davon, thank you for the TTS, man. Very much
Facts.
appreciated.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, good point. Davon Malik, is that Davon? Okay, anyways, go ahead. Thank you, man.
But yeah, basically, like I could see like on the way over here, me and Burke were talking about how like as a friend, you should be able to point your good friends right or wrong and tell them, and they should be able to like take that as perspective. And
Do you
know.
think that girls tend to do that? Because I find that a lot of the time when girls have single friends, the single friends tend to be recruiters. They want you to come join the single train again.
1000%.
Yeah.
A lot of single girls, they look at their friends and they, no matter if they're in the wrong or the right, you look at your friend as like, okay, you're hurting. Let's go out and party. Let's get, let's turn it up.
Do you think that's good advice for a girl in a relationship with a man who has an $11 million house in Malibu?
No, not always. After a certain
It is.
age, you gotta you kind of just fuck it. Sorry.
It's okay.
You get hurt. You gotta pick yourself up and you gotta get your stuff together.
So,
You gotta
so
work.
if one of your friends is in a happy relationship and they have a fight and she's hurting, you'll come and say, "Let's go party."
Did they disrespect you? Was it overstepping any boundaries?
No, I'm just saying, is that what you'd say?
No. As long as they weren't disrespecting you, no boundaries or overstep, fix that with your relationship. You're happy. You're in love.
Wait. So you wouldn't, as the friend, tell them to come out and party with you? That wouldn't be your advice?
No.
Can I have you tilt your microphone down just a little bit and get a little closer to it? Perfect. Good. A couple of people are saying your mic's a little
Sorry.
But why does it matter if you like want to go party with your friend? Like, does that mean like directly like, oh, we're
Put
gonna
yourself
go
in
party,
Jonah
so
Hill's
that
shoes
means,
for
like,
just a
we're
second.
gonna-
So if your girl goes out and parties in LA with her friends, crazy friends from her recent past, and she's like hurting or whatever it is, I'm not sure what the situation was. Don't you think that's a pretty big red flag for Jonah Hill? That his hurting girlfriend is going to go out and party?
100%.
Yes.
Because that those single friends are in her ear like, oh, like it's okay. You can just like kiss that guy or dance with that guy. Like I think that's very toxic.
He'll never
yeah.
know.
You'll
Yeah.
never know.
And can I ask you guys, just quickly to follow up, what's more unattractive? A man who sets boundaries, like I think Jonah Hill's a bit of a bitch if I'm honest, but like a man who sets boundaries or a man who has no boundaries?
What's more attractive?
What's more unattractive? What's a bigger turn
Unattractive
off?
is
No
someone
boundaries.
that doesn't have boundaries because you
No
know that he doesn't have boundaries with anybody else, any
Thank
other
you.
women in his life. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like a man who tells you what to do.
Let's just continue around the table, give everybody an opportunity to weigh in on this. What about you?
I don't think he was disrespectful in what he said at all. He stated his boundaries and he was very clear with it. I think oftentimes women are really quick to throw the word abuse out there. And maybe like in other areas of their relationship, there was like there's a whole scale obviously of what can be considered abuse. And that screenshot specifically though, like he was respectful and he just stated where he was at. And I mean, if you looked at it, turned the other direction, like, and it was her sending the text message, she probably would have a ton of people on her side with it. But it's kind of double standard sometimes.
Yeah. What about you?
Can you go back to the screenshot? I'm pretty sure when I read it, considering the job that I have, I'm gonna have to post those pictures. so I'm not going to date anyone that's going to tell me that I can't. I do respect that that's not what you want, though. But he stated right there that he's happy for her. There's no hard feelings, so he did give her the option.
She doesn't do OnlyFans though. She's a surfer.
She's a surfer.
Like,
well, doesn't she surf in her?
Cute,
I mean, like
cute bum photos when she's surfing. You know.
Yeah, I mean, she's taking those pictures for herself. She feels good in those pictures, so she should be able to post
Why
those.
Why does she need to post it then? She feels so good.
I feel like it comes down to the intent. Like I definitely take pictures and I'll save it for myself, but like I don't know. I feel like it is like getting validation from other people or like mostly other guys, because girls, you're not really posting for other girls like your body. It's more so other guys.
Sure.
You're posting it because your bum looks cute and you're surfing.
Do we all have Instagram? Everyone has Instagram? You guys post on Instagram?
Yes.
Don't you guys? Oh, you don't post on Instagram?
No,
I don't post bikini photos.
So many green
Not
flags over here.
Okay, not bikini
Boyfriend's
photos.
a lucky man.
Sorry, it's a disappointment.
But we all post photos just to update our lives with people around us. And
Here,
but
we'll come to that once we let everybody answer. Go ahead.
I pretty much agree with everyone. I do want to add that Jonah Hill brought this on himself, and he was making reckless decisions and picking a partner. If he saw those photos, that should have been something that was addressed before entering into a relationship with her. I think all of his boundaries were valid, except for she can't surf with other guys, because I'm pretty sure she's a professional surfer, so it's like a work thing.
Well, I think it's like intentionally going out, like paddling out. I surf, paddling out with a guy, sitting next to him, talking to him. I think it's like in the same way if you just like went on a hang out with a male alone, it's kind of a little suspect. But I mean, so you're saying that because he should have known going in that, well, she was already posting these kind of photos and she was already doing this before they got into a relationship, that it's kind of like, well, you should just accept it now that you're in the relationship?
He should have never gotten into it in the first place if that wasn't addressed.
I mean, it's fair. Like, for example, some of you guys here do OnlyFans. It's kind of like if you date a girl knowing up front that she does OnlyFans and then expect her to stop doing OnlyFans. I mean, you could negotiate that, but it's like, it's going to be a pretty tough sell, I think, unless you're prepared to like fully support the girl at her income level, whatever she was making. But I think what his issue was is I don't think she was like a model. I don't think she was like making money from posting on Instagram. I think it was more hobbyist. And so wouldn't it be fair to say, like, because I think what originally happened is he saw her like cute, sexy surfing photos. So you could argue, hey, I mean, this is what you first messaged when you saw me. Why should I have to take it down? But couldn't you make the argument that like you have no problem she was engaging in what he considered single behavior. But once they started dating, he wanted her to act in a way that he thought was consistent with being in a relationship. And his thing was, well, okay, you were single, you're posting these kind of revealing photos, fine. Now that I'm in a relationship with you, though, I want that to stop.
Yeah, I still think it should have been a conversation way sooner, but I commend him for how he handled it. I don't think he was totally bogus.
Okay. What about you?
What do you want to know specifically?
Well, just, I mean, your reaction. Do you, you think it's abusive? Do you think it was manipulative, controlling? You think it's okay? What do you think?
I think when a text message goes out like that looks like it was constructed in notes for like hours and hours, the problem started a lot earlier than when it was sent. My guess is that someone like that probably had difficulty setting boundaries in the first place. Mm-hmm. And I think that we're allowed to have our preferences and boundaries in what we want with a partner. And if we see things in their behavior, if I see something in a man's behavior that I don't like, I just step away. I exit the situation. I'm not big into like behavior control of a man that I'm with. So that text to me seems like things got really bad. He was like, final straw, here are the bullet points. And I'm kind of like, well, why'd you stay so long?
Yeah, I definitely think that is a conversation that needs to happen sooner in a relationship. I'm not too sure how long their relationship lasted, but I definitely think that it should have happened soon in a relationship. all of his boundaries are completely valid, especially being a, for lack of better words, a celebrity of some sorts. You kind of have to protect your image at some point, and the people that you date are definitely going to be associated with you. So,
Facts.
yeah.
I totally agree with you guys. I feel like they should have had that conversation so much sooner, and over text it's just kind of weird because you're in a relationship with that person, so they're like your best friend. I feel like you shouldn't be hiding all these emotions for so long and like not addressing that in person in a conversation. It shouldn't have been this bulleted list. Like, that makes no sense if you're actually in a good relationship.
Yeah, Jonah Hill's also a male feminist as well, just so we know. So he obviously he had zero frame in that relationship. That was absolutely clear. He should have set that from the jump. And the fact that he had to say all of those things means that she's already crossed all of those boundaries already. So it should have happened at the very start.
How would you introduce that earlier on? Like, because do you think it's maybe like, second date, it's like, take down these photos? You think it's maybe like much, or?
Probably from the start, like he can see who she is. He can see that she loves surfing. He can see that she's got a nice cute bum that she posts on Instagram. So he should have just said it from the jump. Okay. But yeah.
Got it. And what we're going to do, so that wasn't the only thing she posted. So Nick, can I have you pull it back up?
And then there's more.
Next one?
Yeah, go to the next one. There's a shit ton. Okay, so then she started posting a bunch of like kind of semi-related stuff. There's something about the equality wheel for domestic violence. I don't know.
What is she wanting to achieve by posting all of this?
She's a bitter person who's lost a millionaire.
I feel like she's prove that he's abusive.
Now, if you look at the very top, look how many stories she's posted. That in itself is a red flag. Like, even if it's not like, if you're posting that many stories a day, I'm sorry, that's fucking...
More red flags than the Chinese Communist Parade.
If you're posting memes and shit, that's a red flag. 20, 30 memes a day about fucking... Anyways, next one. There's a ton. We're going to go through them all really quickly. Next one. Okay, just like she's posting about it. She says that it was emotional, not physical. I mean, it's really not, but okay, next.
Not at all.
This is a warning to all girls. If your partner is talking to you like this, make an exit plan. Love y'all. Call me if you need an ear. So, I mean, this is in reference to the list or whatever.
You need an exit plan from Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
This is like...
So
I don't think she has a clear
next one
idea or gauge.
So keep going. Next one. Sort of done with explaining this. Also, like, one thing I'd just point out is a lot of her, and we'll see this, she's mostly taking snippets of what he said. Sometimes you see her responses, and I don't know, anytime you're just like excluding your responses, like, it'd be interesting to obviously see the full unedited back and forth that they've had. But let's see the next one. Okay, there's just more back and forth. Next one. She posted so much. I too struggle with mental health, but I do not use it to control people like he did to me. It's been a year of healing and growth with the help of loved ones and doctors to get back to living my life without guilt, shame, and self-judgment for things as small as surfing in a swimsuit. Rather, this seems like a very, I don't know what the right word, like soft, you're destroyed because he, look, even if you're of the opinion that this is controlling behavior, it does not rise to the level of like abusive, like, it might be controlling, but like,
I feel like before, because we don't know the context, so like he stated those things and was like, oh, like, you need to work on these things. She could have been like, oh yes, definitely, I will do that. And then it progressively, he started to get more and more frustrated because she was promising that she would change something and she didn't.
This is like her shit testing him though. Yeah. She'll keep pushing the boundaries, and then here we are with like 55 different Instagram stories.
Sounds like it had something to do with like her upbringing too. Because if she had that much like guilt and shame to work through, it's probably, and oftentimes people get into relationships that are familiar, and familiar is like family. So it's like you get into these unhealthy dynamics with similar things you were.
Trauma bond vibe.
Yeah, trauma bond. And so it sounds like there was maybe some deeper rooted childhood trauma behind some of her, I guess, feeling this way, that it was abusive.
Yeah.
I do think like there is a fine line between like abuse in that sense, especially emotional. Like it's really hard to gauge that because it's very different, obviously, than physical abuse. But
Yeah.
I mean, I can
There's
see
more
like,
though. We have some more that we have to react to. If you want to, next one. Okay. More. Just next one. Sharing this publicly now because keeping it to myself was causing more damage to my mental health than sharing it could ever do. I mean,
I find it very interesting when people need to share their personal life, especially like this on the internet. It seems very attention-seeky and
100%.
needing to play the victim and get attention. There's no reason that she should have posted any of this on the internet. It doesn't help anybody.
100%.
And she's pretty delusional if she truly thinks that this is any sort of abuse.
Facts. It's never okay to post this stuff. That's why I have no respect for Prince Harry putting his dirty laundry
I
out with his
agree.
family. And like this, there's no excuse for it.
Especially if you claim that you want privacy and don't want to be in the public eye and then sign multiple contracts to publish your business on the internet. It's very interesting.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely a pretty bad look to, one, to like talk shit, publicly talk poorly about an ex. I mean, how many like relationships are truly, I mean, some relationships will end amicably, but I mean, there's always some, people have arguments, people have disagreements. I mean, I'm sure like everyone here has some ex that could either, you could say maybe something negative about, or they could say something negative about you. Maybe even you yourself reflect back on a past dating experience and you're like, maybe I could have handled this better. Maybe I shouldn't have said this. Maybe I should have just moved on, whatever,
Absolutely. No one's
whatever it may
perfect.
be. So, I mean, I think it's just like, nobody's perfect. And to just be publicly airing this shit it's such a, I mean, if you were like actually like physically abused or emotionally abused, then
Go
you
to the
know,
police.
It's
but-
inappropriate.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and
But
it
like-
seems very Me Too-esque.
And not the same, not the right place to address this.
No,
Like, this is
and
not.
yeah, like I said, none of that's going to help anybody else other than, getting yourself attention.
Let's pull it back up because there's a shit ton more. We'll try to blast through them. Next one, please. This is what healing looks like. And I guess she's text. It's so like self-congratulatory, like pat myself on the back. I'm a victim, blah, blah,
Only
blah.
in the West.
Let's see the next one. Teen Vogue did for me what couples therapy didn't. My boyfriend, and this is something from Teen Vogue, my boyfriend says the way I dress at the beach is too revealing. He says I shouldn't wear bikinis or short shorts. I don't want it to make him feel bad, but I like my style, which I do. Ditch the boyfriend, keep the bikini. And hey, look, if that's just you want to dress how you want to dress, if that's just non-negotiable for you, and you're a woman, I think that's fine. And I think men are justified in having their preferences and boundaries. It just comes down to a negotiation and a conversation. Let's bring it back. Okay.
And he gave her a valid out. If she wanted it, she could have said, okay,
Yeah.
like those are your boundaries. I don't agree. I'm not going to abide by those. I'm going to do what I want to do. She could have left. He said, no hard feelings. That's totally fine. I wish
Yep.
you the best, but she didn't.
I'm curious to know how much longer, because I don't know if maybe someone knows
Yeah.
from the point, she took the screenshots of that conversation. I think they stayed together. I think she obliged him in his requests. She took the photos down. So they stayed together. And I think now, years after the fact,
After he's just had a kid.
yeah, it's kind of sus.
Yeah, it is very
Too
interesting that
late.
this is happening 2
Way too
years
late.
after their relationship ended. There has to be some sort of incentive. I get that his girlfriend is pregnant now, but I feel like there has to be some sort of
Yeah.
other incentive for her to post these so
Well,
long
even
afterwards.
what she's saying and what other people are saying, and I don't know if we have the screenshots of this. She's saying that, well, sometimes you don't realize you were traumatized until years later, and sometimes you have to work through, to really know that something happened in the past that was wrong, and maybe that may be the case, but I mean.
But if you have to
it's
work
just like
through it and post it on social media, go to therapy. Like, go take it to a therapist.
totally.
No,
You don't
she
have
wants to go to
post
Teen
it.
Vogue.
Yeah, Teen Vogue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's pull it back up. Let's try to get through all of them. Gaslight much. even the person I loved and shared a bed with uses me and can't just be like, yeah, you were super nice. It hurt so badly, but I'm done apologizing. I was so lovely to you. 8/31/22.
I'm assuming that's a text
I'm not
message
sure.
he sent to her.
I don't see how that's
I think that's sent to
gaslighting.
her.
Yep, it is.
Next one. And then some memes. The right boundaries in the right places don't limit, they liberate. Okay, here come the memes, the feel good. Okay, as you heal, you'll stop trying to force people to see you in ways they're unwilling to. You'll remember more often that choosing yourself is sacred, even if others don't. Okay, next. She being our couple. Okay, so I guess they went to couples therapy.
Red flag.
Okay, next. There's so many of these. Safe word. It was pineapple. Okay, next.
Great word, pineapple.
Okay, yeah. Oh, and this is the one we already saw. If I'm not the right partner for you, number one boyfriend. So Jonah, I don't think Jonah Hill was 100% perfect here. He was sending her like walls of text, which maybe came across. I mean, definitely a little bit. It's
a bit much.
A little too much, a little extra. Sending, like I said, sending these long walls of text.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's being pretty crazy and opportunistic with the victim card.
So weird that it's texts, though, don't you
Yeah,
think?
are
Like
they,
that is an
like,
absolute face-to-face conversation every day of the week.
Specific screenshots too.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
And it seems very contract-like, like the bullet points and all of it. If you're dating, I feel like this is a conversation you could absolutely have in person. So it is very interesting.
Hold on just a second.
Gorlock the Destroyer donated $100. Get in my belly. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. Ribs, I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. Ribs. Chully eyes, baby back ribs.
Gorlock the Destroyer, thank you very much for your TTS. Much appreciated. Priya, you were saying?
You were saying it's contracty.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of red flag right there. Also, that he didn't have the conversation earlier in the relationship. It's very interesting. I'm not too educated on Jonah Hill and his beliefs and his career, other than his pretty mainstream stuff. But yeah, it seems like that they're. Nobody was perfect in that relationship.
I can say I think I could understand why like obviously I think it's definitely better to handle things, if not face to face, like at least over a phone call. But I understand like if things had gotten as toxic as they did, why maybe it came to text message instead. I know like sometimes
any man who is self-respecting would see that situation and be like, I'll talk to you when I see you.
Do it hands on.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know how you guys could ever respect a man who would send those little
very much agree. It seems very immature.
I guess more so it depends on who initiated over text message, because a lot of the time I think women would be more inclined to initiate.
And then she just pushes him and he's just.
And they're both. I mean, they're both in therapy.
That's a red flag that they're in therapy.
Not even a red
Yeah.
flag.
How is that a
Couples
red
therapy.
flag?
Couples therapy.
This is like probably the best way he thought or was taught by that therapist to explain himself. It can't be like, don't take it personally. Like, you're going to therapy too. Like, don't you kind of get the gist of like how? I don't know.
I think he definitely should have. I think he definitely should have taken more of initiative in the beginning of the relationship to state those boundaries. But I could understand why after it gets to that point where he like hadn't had that voice for so long, why he was doing it the way he did. But I agree, he should have kind of taken it from the beginning.
Let's pull up more of let's see the rest. I mean, there's a bunch. We'll just try to blast through them. Next one. Sorry. Oh, shit. Basically, we don't have to go back, but the previous one, he was being pretty cringe. Actually, if you can go back one, Nick, you'll have to go. Here, I'm going to switch it back here, and if you can just go out of F11 and do it. But and guys, we have some spicy stuff coming up after this Jonah reaction. So, wait, why should I go to therapy? Oh, F11.
No.
Yeah, you're good. So he is being like. Literally just say hello and leave the convo. I love how your therapist thinks I suck. I literally am the best boyfriend on earth. That's pretty fucking cringe.
Don't you reckon he sounds like Jonah Hill from Superbad?
Yeah.
That's something that I'd expect his Superbad character. But like, this is the problem with guys who get really rich and famous and they're still dorks, is the fact that like, he clearly can't hold that frame and he can't have that conversation because he still thinks that he's fat Jonah Hill from super bad, you know.
He lost weight though, so I mean, good for him.
Yeah,
on
but
that.
I think he still exists in
Internally,
that.
He's still-
in that-
Internally, he's still
Yeah.
fat.
Yeah.
Well, he's like
Yeah.
super woke and like,
Yeah.